Is it recording? Hi guys, I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I wanted to make this video because I feel double chin. No, just double chin. But I just felt it needed to be made because, like, recently I was going through on YouTube and I explained the situation I'm in, and one person for no reason all of a sudden started victim blaming people, and that's one thing I don't get about people. It's like, what do you get from victim blaming someone? Do you really enjoy it that much? It just kind of makes it suspicious as to what you're like. If you're like, one of the things he said is just because you didn't ask doesn't mean you didn't want it. It's like, first of all, what? And then in the same thing, they sat there and said, and everyone should know sexual assault is wrong, even if you're 8. Excuse me, that's when you're supposed to be living your childhood, when you have a pure, innocent mind, and why would you even know what sexual assault is? And then he goes on and sits there and says, and there are people who are raped by strangers, so you're lucky you were by someone who actually loved you and had good intentions. Be thankful. How do they have good intentions? And why does one tooth look whiter than the other? Why? Whatever. But, if you're, especially sexual assault or sexual abuse or harassment or anything in general is wrong to do, especially if the person is either too young to understand, stop double chin, understand what's going on, or if they say out and out no, or if they're unconscious and can't say no. Freaking, how can you have good intentions forcing yourself on someone? This guy, there's something wrong with this guy or girl. But it's just like, if they went through this situation or they knew someone who did, they'd probably have a different outlook on life and everything. But instead they're going and wasting their time victim blaming people who knew no better and everything. And freaking then they sit there and say, like, cause I sat there and said something about my partner being dead and me being glad, and he sits there and says, they sit there and say, stop blaming others, people for your issues, after saying that I should have just asked him to stop doing it. It's like, first of all, again, I was too young to know the difference, and second of all, it's none of your business what happens. All that matters is it happened, and it shouldn't have. It's illegal, first of all. Second of all, freaking, if you, instead of victim blaming people, go find something better to do. Third of all, it's just making you look more like an ass to everyone else. But what I find funny is I have, there's one person on there who's actually backing me up, and this guy's, or girl's, trying to go after them, too. And it's just like, sitting there, no one's backing you up, buddy. You should know you're in the wrong. And the best part is how they sit there and say how I'm ugly and I'm racist. First of all, from all I can remember in all my videos, I've never said anything racist at all. Second of all, friggin', you're making it sound racist if you're sitting there pointing out what race I am and then calling me a racist because of it. It's like, just because I'm white, I'm a racist. So if you're saying I'm black, I couldn't have been a racist, or if I was Asian, I can't be a racist, but just because I'm white, I am. And it's like, he sits there and calls me ugly, and it's like, first of all, I already know that, so good luck trying to get that to insult me. And second of all, if that's what you gotta resort to because you know you're gonna end up losing this argument, just go home. Untwist your panties and just go back to wherever you're from. And apparently their parents didn't raise them right either. But so that happened, and it's like, the funny part is they're sitting there calling me ugly. If they don't, their profile picture is just an and they have uploaded no videos. I mean, yes, I find myself ugly, and I'm very awkward at making these things, as you could probably tell by now. But at least I still make them. It's like, if you call someone ugly, yet you're not going to show yourself, what the hell? I try not to sit there and go, I will go to the whole, yeah, well, look who's the real ugly person if you can't even show yourself, but I try not to go there. It's like, you have no right to sit there and, well, no one in general, whether you show yourself or not, know them in person or not, are joking or are serious, you have no room to be calling someone ugly, because, one, if they have self-esteem issues, that could seriously damage them. Two, if they're getting bullied and called ugly by other people, even if you're their friend, that could be the last straw. And three, is just like, everyone has their own difference of opinions. And it's like, getting to the point where that's where people, especially women, resort to, oh, well, you're fat, or, oh, you're ugly. Bitch, I got a double chin. I'm fat and not ugly and I don't care. Double chin. Meet Felipe. Hi, Felipe. But, freaking, it's just like, stop victim blaming people because you're just making yourself look like an ass, and you're gonna get teamed up and everything, and it's just not gonna look good, especially like if it's on a Facebook post and someone screenshots it and everything and shares it around, and you go to apply for a job, and especially since at least jobs used to look at your Facebook and other social medias, if they see something like that where you're willingly victim blaming people and everything, and jumping to the whole appearances just because you're losing the argument and not getting what you want, the likelihood of you getting hired is very slim. But this is like, stop victim blaming people and try putting yourself in their shoes. It's uncomfortable to talk about. We pretty much gotta relive the trauma almost every day. Like, the simplest things can trigger us. Like with me, I'm very uncomfortable around men, and even if I'm in the safest place possible, I do not feel safe. It's just trust issues where I'm like other women or men or whatever would want to be in a relationship. At this point, I prefer being single and everything because I don't have to worry about coming home, oh, hey, babe, let's have sex, and stuff like that. And then when me say no, them trying to pressure me into it. But it's like, this person is making a fool out of themselves. So please don't do that for you, not just for the victims, but for your own benefit. Unless you want, like, freaking to look like an idiot for the rest of your life. Because if someone screams caps the shot, even if they take it down, some other people could upload it, and it's pretty much on the internet for the rest of eternity. And if you have friends who know exactly who you are on, like, the YouTube or something, and they see that, even if, like say they're your girlfriend, and you're victim blaming another girl for being attacked, and if they're a victim or if they're understanding, then they're most likely going to break up with you, because it's like, you're victim blaming someone you don't even know. And just because I sat there and posted, I was glad my attacker was dead, apparently now I'm wishing my whole family was dead, and I deserve to die. It's like, first of all, I may have been wishing, I wasn't even wishing for him to die, but I'm glad he's dead, which is, I know that's sad, but that's because he did something to me. Don't go wishing someone else, to die that had done nothing to you, never talked to you before, you don't know face to face, you never even been to their YouTube channel and everything, and you don't know their whole life story, so don't be telling them they should go, you'll be glad when they die. That's also making you look like an asshole. I'm not just, so, for people who are being victim blamed, just pretty much at this point, just let it go out in one ear and out the other, because they just have nothing better to do, and if it ever happens to them, and I never wish any kind of attack or anything that can cause you to be a victim to happen to anyone, but if it happens to them, then they're going to understand your situation, and they're going to go back and look at this conversation and be like, oh man, I was such an asshole, I should have known better, freaking, I shouldn't have treated them like that, I should have thought what I was typing or saying instead of just spewing it out. Because for the longest time, victims will sit there and blame themselves and, oh, it's my fault, oh, if I did this, oh, if I did that. Even if you're a child abuse victim like that and you've grown up, you're like, oh, even as a kid, you don't know better. It's like you grow up, oh, I should have known better, it's my fault, I should have told him to stop, I should have did this. It's out of your hands, because even if you tell, like, an attacker to stop, it doesn't mean they're going to be like, oh, well, you told me to stop, so I'll just stop. I'm so sorry I attacked you, I'm just going to move on. If they want to attack you bad enough, they're going to attack you whether you say stop or not. And, like, luckily, what happened to me, I did not end up dead. A lot of victims end up dead, or as years pass by and they've finally calmed down and learned to live with it for the most part, and then they start getting victim blamed, that's going to bring up the memories even more, because I still live with my memories every single day, even in my dreams. But, they're going to have it, like, finally snap, and they're going to end up killing themselves. And if you sit there and say, you'll be glad when they're dead, and then find out that they, like, killed themselves, again, that's going to make you look like an asshole, because you helped lead them to this by victim blaming them. Didn't bother hearing their story or anything. You just sat there and told them you were glad they're dead, and it's pretty much their fault. So people, if you don't want to hear people talk about it, just continue on. Don't comment. Don't victim blame. Just don't do anything. You're just going to make yourself look like a fool, and just going to make people hate you. And on YouTube, if you're going after subscribers too, that's not how to get them. Like, people are going to really subscribe to someone who just willingly victim blames someone they've never even talked to before. It's like, really? I definitely know I wouldn't. It's like, that's what I like about people who aren't victims, but also don't victim blame and will stick up for them. It's like, you should do that instead of being the one to victim blame, because you may be the cause of the end of someone's life. You may, people will get the thought that maybe you're an abuser too, and you encourage it, and all that stuff. Even if you're not like that, maybe you were just having a bad day or something. Now it's going to sit there and look bad on you forever and make it look like that. And your bad day just, like, could have ruined someone else's life, but it definitely ruined your reputation with people who don't know you. And even if you have videos up and everything, and people see you victim blaming someone on someone else's channel, then you're going to get nothing but hate comments, and you don't deserve to sit there and say, oh, I don't see why I get hate comments, I did nothing wrong. On a completely different note, my face actually looks pretty good today, and I mean clear. But, so stop victim blaming, stick up for them, and point out when someone's in the wrong. It not only hurts them, but it hurts you, and in the long, I know I've been repeating myself, in the long run, it's the stupidest thing to do. Unless you were there, unless you saw everything that was going on, and they weren't fighting back or anything, and you knew they knew better than when it was going on. If you know they're faking about being a victim, then that's one thing. Because obviously if you knew them in person and everything, and knew the whole story. But also don't sit there and call them a faker when you know nothing about them. It's like, how do you know? So if this person ever goes through this, I'm going to have so much sympathy for them, and I wish this on nobody. But maybe then they'll wisen up and realize how ridiculous they looked in this in this comment. But they still obviously have a lot of growing up to do. They need to untie their panties and just go and think about life and concentrate on their own life and their own happiness than trying to bring others down and harass people. I know this is probably an annoying video, but just stop victim blaming, stop bullying and everything. It can lead to stuff you don't mean to, and then you're gonna more than likely regret it for the rest of your life, and people just aren't gonna like you, and even if they did, they're gonna have a different opinion on you now, and they may distance themselves from you. Alright, that's all I wanted to say. Bye-bye.